The year was 2005. I had just finished my class 12th exams. I had grown up in small town Jamshedpur, also known as Tata Nagar, and this would be the first time I would be leaving home. I was moving to Bombay for my graduation, and as cliche as it may sound, it was a culture shock in itself. So as I was getting used to the new city, the crazy speed, the unknown set of people, I also started preparing for my chartered accountancy. It was not that I loved CA, it was because everybody told me, Sampark, you're good in accounts, you should go do CA. So I did. 3 months into it, I realized this is not my cup of tea. I was not enjoying it and I knew I would not enjoy it further as well. We'd invested good 35-40,000 into this already, a big sum for the family that I came from. But I was sure. I decided I wanted to quit and I did. I was 18. I was still trying to figure out what I eventually wanted to do in life. So I experimented with a few part-time jobs. And it was during one of these jobs that I eventually found my calling. I started working with a small electronics store selling television. So every morning from 7 to 12, I would go and attend college. Every evening from 4 to 9, I would go and sell TVs. I was making some 2,500 rupees a month and I was absolutely ecstatic. People told me, Sampark, what are you doing? What will your friends think if they see you? My friends eventually did notice me there, but I was not bothered what they were thinking because I was liking what I was doing. This was where I fell in love with the whole thing of closing sales. This was where I found the high of talking to people, convincing them and seeing them walking out satisfied with their purchase. And that's where I decided I wanted to make a career in sales and marketing. 2008, I enrolled for my MBA. And as luck would have it, the financial crash came in. A year and a half later, when I was sitting for placements, the situation was still grim. And I walked out without a placement. Another thing that I had not planned for. Coming from a typical Indian middle class, when you invest lakhs in education, you want to come out with a stable job. But that did not happen, and I moved to Delhi. I had a few relatives there, and I started walking into offices with resume in hand looking for a job. Some I got rejected, some turned me away saying I was overqualified. A few months into this, a friend's dad offered me a job, but it was in an industry I had no clue about. Astrology. So I landed up selling software to astrologers. I landed up selling rings and gems and yantras and rudraksh and crystals, standing in exhibitions shouting at the top of my voice. Again, people questioned me. Sampark, you deserve to be in an MNC. Sampark, you deserve a bigger brand. I knew I did, but I knew that my shot will eventually come. So I kept giving my 100% into this job as well. 12 months later, that big break did come in. I landed up an interview with Asian Paints. The interviewer was amazed with the industry I came from, that my whole interview was around the fact, how did you convince astrologers? How did you generate leads? How did you close sales? Etc. etc. There were 10 people sitting for the interview that day. I was the only one who got through. This began my 5 awesome years at Asian Paints. It laid the foundation for me as a professional. It made me the man that I was. After that, the startup bug bit me. I moved for 3 great years at Ola, followed by 2 fantastic years at Oyo. I was going from strength to strength. I was riding a wave. 2019 was a landmark year. I started the year getting awarded as one of the top 100 marketing, sales and growth professionals in the country. Somewhere in the year, I also won the LinkedIn Spotlight 2019 award. It was an award by LinkedIn recognizing the top content creators in the country. Everything seemed perfect. Nothing could have gone wrong. But then 2020 came in. COVID struck. The vertical I was leading crashed. And in one day, I had almost lost my job. My income was gone. Everything seemed topsy-turvy. At this stage, I could have sat, cribbed, cried and lamented on why me, why did this happen to me? But I knew that was not the solution. While I'd been very active on LinkedIn, I'd been building a network on the side, but it was never with the intention of doing something full-time. Entrepreneurship was never on my cards. But as I stood on the crossroads that day, something in me said, Sampark, you have nothing to lose. Go ahead, take the plunge. So this forced plunge made me an accidental entrepreneur. And over the last 10 months, I have not taken my foot off the accelerator. I have been coaching, I have been training, I have been mentoring, I have been consulting, and I have gone on and on. In the last 10 months, I have trained over 12,000 people. I've done sessions across 5 continents across the globe. The fun fact is, whatever income I was able to reach in 10 years, I've been able to rise back to that from zero within 10 months itself. Now coming to the crux of what I learned in these last 15 years, there are 7 learnings. 1. If you do not enjoy something, move on. The problem with the world is people don't know when to let go. If I had not left chartered accountancy, I might have become a CA. But would I have been happy? No. So if you are giving a best shot to something, yet you don't enjoy it, look for something that you do and move on. Second, there is no work big or small. Irrespective of how small the work is, give it your 100%. You will eventually get recognized. If I had sat down and said, why should I be selling TVs, or why should I be standing in exhibitions and shouting at the top of my voice, I would not have reached where I am. Third, always be confident of yourself. That's what will take you forward. A lot of people will raise questions. A lot of people will point fingers, but you should know what you're capable of. Keep learning, keep reskilling, keep growing. But a word of caution there. Understand the difference between self-confidence and overconfidence. Fourth, there will be ups and downs. Irrespective of how high you are flying, there might be something that will pull you down. A lot of times you may not be the cause of it. Something completely out of your control would. But then that's what life is. Did I expect to lose my job? No. Did I expect my income to take a hit? No. It was at this time that I remember my favorite dialogue from the movie Rocky Balboa. Life ain't all about sunshines and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are, because it's going to beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody gonna hit as hard as life. But it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Point number 5. Stay positive. Don't cry, don't crib, don't complain. No one cares, no one bothers. So if it's your problem, only you are going to solve it. Nobody's going to do it for you. And that's been my mantra of success. That's what has helped me achieve whatever I have. Point number 6. Always ask this question whenever you're taking a major decision. What is the worst that will happen? I do ask that question. And if it is not life-threatening, then go ahead and do it. What is the worst that will happen? You might need to restart. You might need to put in some more effort. You might need to do it all over again. But if it is not life-threatening, do it. The problem with the world is the people think of the failure and give up. The moment you start thinking of victory, your half the problem is solved. The moment you start doing it, you are anyways ahead of 98% of the people. Point number 7. Always work on your foundation. The deeper the roots, the mightier the storm that you can bear. If your roots are not strong enough, even a gust of wind will uproot you. Over the last 10 years, I've been very, very consciously building those roots, learning from every organization that I have worked with. So if you ask me, what has my organizations taught me? The first organization taught me life at the grassroots level. It taught me the power of empathy and the problems that you face. Asian Paints taught me the whole thing of systems and processes. Ola taught me the whole thing of speed and agility. Oyo taught me how do you manage people, how do you understand people dynamics when you're leading a team of 200 plus. All of them combined made me what I am. All of them combined make the foundation of who Sampark is. All of them combined help me resurrect myself in 10 months. And that's where your foundation becomes important. Now you will ask me, Sampark, what next? What does the future have in hold? I don't know. But what I know is there will be victories, there will be setbacks. There will be highs, there will be lows, there will be good times, and there will be bad times. But one thing I'm 100% sure, irrespective of what happens, I will keep going on and on. End of the day, it does not matter how tough the situation is. End of the day, it does not matter where you come from. If you're positive, if you're confident, and if you're striving to do what you want to, you will eventually reach where you should be. Thank you.